Let's do it. All right, we're gonna start laying on our backs in our supported Supta Baddha Konasana position. So your feet will be together, knees bent, kind of splayed out. And if you have your blocks, you can place them underneath the thighs here and the calves, just to get a little bit of support here. If you don't have that, that's fine. It's no big deal. Just kind of tuck the shoulders down the back, of the arms. Just hang out by your side, palms facing up. And start to tune into your breath. Notice the rise and fall of your inhales and exhales as you breathe. Let the low back really fall towards the mat as you breathe as well. Let go of any distractions from the morning. Anything on your to-do list later, just let it all go and hang out as you relax in. As you continue to breathe here, start to bring some attention to your hips area. Just notice if there's anything that's tight or sore today before we get started. If there is, just be aware of that as we move through practice today. We're going to do a couple rounds of lion's breath this morning to help us settle in. So on the next inhale, let's take a nice deep inhale in through the nose. Then through the mouth, you're going to let it all go. Do that a couple more times here. Try to extend your exhale out longer than your inhale. A nice deep inhale in. And through the mouth, try to extend it out nice and long. Let it go. One last time like that. Let it go through the mouth, extending out nice and long. Your eyes shut, you can go ahead and open them up. Remove your blocks if you have them. We're going to pull both knees into the chest here. Just make some circles with your knees onto the low back here. And then we'll switch directions. And now we'll place our hand behind our thighs and start to roll up and down the spine until you make your way to a comfortable seat with your legs out long in front of you. We're going to start by bending our left knee in, and then we're going to lock this leg in. So place your arms behind your thigh here. And then lift that left foot off the ground. And today, posture is going to be really important here. So we'll start by just practicing on this one. So make sure that right leg is nice and engaged with the toes facing up towards the sky and those toes really drawing back towards those right shin, or the right shin. Only one of those. We're going to start with some ankle cars here. So we'll start by lifting our left toes up towards the ceiling. Draw them out to the outside. Point them down towards the floor. Draw them to the inside. Up towards the sky. To the outside. Down towards the floor. To the inside. Back up towards the sky. And we'll switch directions here. So keep them up towards the sky. And then now towards the inner line. Point them to the floor. To the outside. Make sure that right leg's still nice and engaged. Up towards the sky. To the inside. Down towards the floor. To the outside. And then go ahead and release this leg. And we'll switch it up. And pull that right leg in. So it doesn't really matter which arm goes where. Just kind of hook underneath your right thigh here, right over that right knee. Make sure that left leg is nice and engaged and strong, and drawing back towards the shin with the toes. And then keep the spine nice and long, and we're going to lift the right toes up towards the sky. To the inside, down towards the floor, pointing the toes down. To the outside, back up towards the sky. To the inner line, down towards the floor. To the outside, up towards the sky. And we'll switch, make sure those left toes are still engaging in. And then bring those right toes back up towards the right shin. To the outside, down towards the floor. To the inside, draw them up towards the shin. To the outside, down towards the floor. To the inside, up towards the shin. Back to the outside, and then go ahead and release. We'll bring both legs out long in front of us now. And bring your hands down next to your hips here. Arms are long, fingertips on the ground. Draw both toes back towards the shin here, and then lengthen through the spine. And a couple breath rounds here. Inhale in, lengthening through the spine. And exhaling to engage the belly to keep that nice length. Inhale up, keeping up through the spine. And exhale out. On your next inhale, you bring your arms up overhead. And then we're going to hinge and fold over our legs this time. And nice and stretched out here before we get into the stretches this morning. Let your head hang nice and heavy. Couple breath rounds here. Go ahead and rise back up. And then have your block just kind of handy. You just need one block here, or your dictionary, your remote. And we're going to bend the left leg in again. Right leg's going to remain long. And this time, so what we're going to do is we're going to do some lifts here with our left leg up. So we're just going to be lifting the sole of the foot off the ground, however much is available. But however, if you're able to lift it up like pretty far, you can place the block underneath there. But we'll try it without the block first, just to kind of see how it goes. So we're going to start. You want to really like lock in your position here. So you can place your hands right next to your hips with the full palm on the ground, or the fingertips if you can't get that full palm quite on the ground, and draw those toes back. And you're really going to drive that right calf down into the mat. And if this is uncomfortable and you'd rather kind of like be pressing your hands into the top of the right thigh, you can do that as well. Just kind of bring that left arm underneath the left leg. I found that this was probably the most comfortable way to do it. So we're not going to be drawing the toes back or anything. We're literally just going to be trying to hover up off the ground And then we'll place it back down, and then you're going to press in, doing our pails and rails. All right. And I don't know if you'll be able to get the block underneath there. If you got a book, you might be able to, but we'll just do it without the block to start and see how it goes. So engage everything, engage that core, draw those right toes back. Take an inhale in. And as you exhale, we're going to start by pressing that left foot into the mat. You can press your hands in as well here, just to help stabilize you more. We're going to hold it for 3, 2, 1. And now start to lift that left foot up off the floor, kind of keeping the foot in the same position that it's at. Going up as high as you can go. And hold it for 3, 2, 1. Release it back down. And then just notice if you were able to like fit a block underneath there or not, or fix the dictionary underneath your foot. And if you can slide it underneath. Giving yourself a little bit more of a lift here. We're trying to like make the smallest movement that we can here so that we come to the end range motion of this position, and then lift up just that tiny little bit right at that end range. So we'll go ahead and engage in again here, drawing those right toes back, pressing the hands into the floor, and then start by pressing the foot into the block or the hook or the floor, whatever you've got. Holding it for 3, 2, 1. Release and try to lift the foot up off the block or the book. Any amount, it could be an inch, could be a centimeter, could be not at all, just making the effort. And hold it for 3, 2, 1. Place the foot back down, pressing it into the block, pressing it down with all of your might, and hold it for 3, 2, 1. Lift the foot up. Lifting up as high as you can off the book or the block, and hold it for 5, 4. Keep that right foot engaged. 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Release. Let that left leg go long. Bring the block to the right side of the mat. And we'll position here on the right side. So bend that right knee in. So the foot is on the floor. Each side presents itself differently, so we'll start without the book or the block, just to kind of make sure that you can get it up. And we'll place our hands right behind the hips here. Draw those left toes in. Take an inhale in, and we're going to start by pressing the right foot into the mat. Press it in. We'll start like at 60, 70% effort. And we're going to hold it for 3, 2, 1. And now lift that right foot up as high as you can go. Trying to keep the spine as still as you can. With pad dip, try to keep it as still as you can. And hold it for 3, 2, 1. And then release. If you think you can get a block underneath there, let's go ahead and try that. If not, that's totally fine too. Reposition yourself here and then draw those left toes back. Really draw them in. Press that left calf into the floor here and take an inhale in. And as you exhale, start to press your right foot into the block. Holding it for 3, 2, 1. And now try to lift that right foot up any amount here, trying to keep everything else still. Holding it for 3, nice work, 2, 1. Release the foot back down, pressing it into the mat or the block or the book. Holding it for 3, 2, 1. And now lift it up again. This time we're going to hold it for 5, 4. Left leg is still engaged. 3, 2. Nice work. 1. Release. Let both legs long. Point your toes down to the mat and walk your hands back a little bit. Then turn your hands so the fingers are facing behind you. So point the toes down and take an inhale in and just lift your seat up, coming into a reverse plank here. And exhale back down. A little counterbalance here. Okay. So now we're going to bring our right leg to the outside edge of the mat. Oh no, okay, sorry, I almost forgot something here. Legs are long here, so this time we're going to do a similar sort of thing, except we're going to do it with both legs long. So you can place the block on the left side of the mat. We might use it, you might not. Similar thing, if your hands and wrists are getting uncomfortable here, you can make this as well, instead of like having the full palm on the ground, which is what I'm going to do because my wrists are getting a little sore. So you can make your fists and place them right next to you and behind the hips here. We're going to draw both toes back towards the shin. This time we're going to keep the toes drawing back towards the shin with both legs the entire time. And we're going to be working with our left leg first. The right leg is going to make or remain nice and still. We're going to start by pressing the right or the left heel into the mat. Press the heel into the mat, the full leg, the calf, everything in, and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to lift the left leg up as high as you can, keeping it as straight as possible here. And hold it for 3, 2, 1, and release. Looks like everyone can use the block underneath that heel. Go ahead and place the heel on top of the block here, or the book, whatever you've got. Make your fists or place your palms on the ground again. Take an inhale in, draw those right toes back, left toes back. And as you exhale, start to press the left heel into the block, holding it for 5, 4, nice work, 3, 2, 1. Now lift the left leg up as high as you can, holding it here for 5, 4, might be a little shaky, 3, 2, 1, and release it back. If you've got another block setting up and you feel like you can get your left leg up off of that a little bit more, go ahead and try. If you don't have any more block settings, that's fine too. But since I was here and able to lift my left leg up still pretty high there, I'm gonna place mine up onto the next one. It might be, yeah, you got this. Good. All right. So last time on this side here, let's settle ourselves in, make your fists or place your hands on the floor. Draw those right toes back, left toes back, take an inhale in, and start to press the left heel into the block. Make sure your left knee isn't locked out here, but the left leg is nice and straight, and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're gonna lift that left leg up. Lift it up, might be just a little bit, and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release, remove the block, and we'll make our way to the other side. So we can start, it looks like for both of you guys, we were able to lift it up, so place that block underneath the right foot. Get yourself nice and supported here. Draw those toes back towards your shins. Take a nice deep inhale in. And as you exhale, start to press that right heel into the block or the book. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now lift that right heel up. Lift, 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 lift. Remember, each side presents itself differently, so you might not get as high on this side. Holding it for 3, 2, 1, and release. Take an inhale in. You want to move that block up one more position here. If you've got that room, go ahead and do so. If not, keep it where it's at. I'm going to keep mine where it's at since I didn't get up too much higher. So we're going to take an inhale in, engage everything, left toes back towards the left shin, right toes back towards the right shin, and start to press that heel. Nice work. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift it up. Lift, 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 lift. Holding it for 5. Keep that lift. 4. Nice work. 3, 2, 1. Release it back down to the block one more time. We're going to press in with that right heel. Press, press, press. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now lift up one more time. Really lifting as high as you can go. This time, maybe you get an inch or two higher. Don't let yourself lean back. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Remove the block off to the side. We're done with it for now. We'll use it again later. Now you're going to bring your right leg to the outside edge of the mat. Then the left knee, the sole of the left foot is on the inside of the right thigh. Now you're going to take your left hand on top of your left knee and start to press your left knee down towards the mat. You grab your, actually, let's do this. I just thought of this. Grab your right toe here to help engage you and keep you in this position here. And we're going to do some tails and rails with this left leg now. So you're going to keep your left hand where it's at. Try to have your left arm straight if you can. If not, that's fine. Just keep it where it's at. And we're going to start by pressing the left knee into that left hand. Starting at maybe a 50–60% effort. Press that left knee in, holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now pull the left knee away from the left hand, pulling it down towards the floor. And hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keep it where it's at and replace the left hand in a new position with it further down. Keep that hand where it's at and start to press the left knee into the left hand in this new position. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start to pull that left knee away from the left hand, keeping the left hand where it's at. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the left knee where it's at. Place the left hand on top of the left knee. And then last time, start to press the left knee into the left hand. Holding it for 5. Really press in with all your might. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now pull the left knee away from the left hand one more time, or make the effort to pull it away if you're already down on the floor. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Nice job. All right, switching sides here. Left leg goes to the outside of the mat. Then that right knee in, right sole of the foot on the right, or on the inside of the left thigh. Again, you can kind of just like have this hand here to support, or if you want to grab the left toe, I find that that's a little more stabilizing. And then you're going to place that right hand on top of the right thigh and start to press the right thigh in towards the mat. Going as far as you can go, it's comfortable, and straightening out the right arm. So from here, we're going to take an inhale in and engage everything. And then start to press the right knee into the right hand. Press it in, press, 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 holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now try to pull that right knee away from the right hand, any amount that's available. But then if it doesn't move, that's fine. Just make the effort to move it away from your right hand. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then replace the right hand on this new position of your leg. And then switch the effort here. Start to press that right knee back into the right hand. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then start to pull the right knee away from the right hand again one more time. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And press that and replace that hand on it one more time here. Maybe it's a little further down towards the mat. Last time, we're gonna press that right hand in, or the right knee into the right hand, and hold for 5, 4, 3, nice work, 2, 1. Last time, try to pull that right knee as close to the floor as you can. Pull it down, pull it down. You've got this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Legs can come back out long, maybe shake them out a little bit. And we're gonna make our way to a tabletop position. Spread the fingertips nice and wide here, full palm on the ground. We'll move through a couple quick little cat-cows just to kind of warm up the spine a little bit. So inhale, we're going to lift the tailbone up, drop the belly, finally lift the chin up. Then exhale, tuck the tailbone around the spine, and then finally tuck the chin. One more like that, lifting the tailbone up, dropping the belly, broaden through the chest, lift the chin, exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, chin comes in last. All right, so coming back to a neutral spine here, we're going to move through some hip control articular rotations here. So we'll start by hovering that right knee and right foot off of the ground. Keep everything nice and engaged here, and then lift the right knee up towards your right elbow. And then bring the foot and the knee out wide, like dog peeing on a fire. And then bring the knee back and lift the sole of the foot up towards the sky, trying to keep the low back nice and still. And then bring it back down to meet the left. Back up in front towards the elbow. To the outside, shin is parallel to the floor. And then keep the knee where it's at as you bring it behind you and lift the foot up towards the sky. Sole of the foot. Nice. Bring it back down to meet the right, or sorry, the left. We'll go through it one more time. Right knee to the elbow. Bring the knee and foot out wide so the shin is parallel to the floor. And then bring the leg behind you. Knee stays kind of where it's at, lifting up. But try to keep the low back nice and still. And then bring the knee back down to meet the left. And keep it hovering, and we'll switch directions. So knee goes back, sole of the foot goes up towards the sky. Lift the knee up as high as you can. And then bring the knee out wide. Foot comes parallel with the knee. So the shin is parallel to the floor. Right knee comes to the right elbow. And then back to meet the left. And then up and back behind you. Sole of the foot towards the sky. Bring the knee and the foot out wide. Shin is parallel to the floor. Right knee to right elbow. And then bring it back down to meet the left, bring the knee and foot down. Switch sides here. Start to hover that left knee off the ground. And then bring the left knee to the left elbow. Left leg goes out wide, shin comes parallel to the floor. Nice job. And then knee goes back, foot goes up, sole of the foot towards the sky. Knee comes back down and back in front. Left knee, left elbow. Bring the left leg out wide. Shin is parallel to the floor. Knee goes back up, sweeping around, keeping the sole, or bring the sole of the foot up towards the sky. And then bring the left back to hover over the ground next to the roof. Switching directions, lift the left knee up. Sole of the foot goes up towards the sky as high as you can without arching that low back. Bring the knee out wide, foot out wide, shins parallel to the floor, dog and fire hydrant. Left knee to left elbow. Bring the knee back towards the right knee, and then lift the left knee up as high as you can behind you, sole of the foot towards the sky. Left knee out, foot comes down parallel to the knee. And bring the left knee to the left elbow, and then back to meet the right. And then just come back and sit on your heels for a second, roll out the wrist, and I'll show you what we're going to do next. So you'll have your block for this one for sure. And we're going to be in a stance like this. So your left knee is going to be right over that left ankle. Right hip will be right over your right knee. And then you're going to place this block so that it's right under the top of the foot here. And then what we'll do is we'll have our arms by our side. And we're going to make some fists today. We're driving the fist down towards the floor. And if you need some extra support on your knee, especially if you're on a hardwood floor, you can kind of roll up like the back of your mat here a little bit, since there's a lot of pressure on the knee. What I'm going to do. And then, so once we get into our position here, we'll make our fists with our hands, and we're going to be pulling our heel in towards our glute. And this is going to be the probably really crampy one. This one gives me cramps all the time. So, and again, if you want to, we'll go through it a couple times. And if you have a block that has multiple settings, you can bring it up to the higher settings if you've got like a bunch of room and mobility over in that position. Sound good? Cool. So we'll start with the left leg out in front. And the right knee, or right leg is behind you here. And then position your block so that the top of your foot is on top of the block here. You want it so that the top of the foot is on there and not really any of the ankle. And then we'll bring our arms down to our sides here. We'll start to engage our core, making some fists and trying to drive your fists down towards the floor as you press in through the front foot and everything. And then as you take your next exhale, start to press the top of the foot into the block behind you. Start at like a 50% effort, 60%, and then hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now keep everything the same and start to lift that foot up towards your glute. And once you've arrived at your top point here, go ahead and hold for 3, 2, 1, and then release the foot back down to the block. If you want to adjust, come up to a higher setting if you've got that ability, go ahead and do so. I had a little bit of extra room there, so I went up to the tallest setting on my block. If you're using books, you can stack multiple books if you had it. But if you don't have the ability to go up to the next setting, that's fine too. A whole lot. It's not a huge deal, I should say. So once you've got your settings again here, we'll start by pressing the top of the foot into the block. And hold for 3, 2, 1. And now start to lift the glute or the heel up towards the glute. With all of your might here, really trying to pull it in as far as you can, making the smallest angle possible here, holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the foot back down, pressing into the block one more time here. And you're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then lift it up for your last time here. Really lift, 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 lift. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Go ahead and switch sides here. Right leg goes out in front of you. Left leg behind. Place the block at whatever setting you think is going to be best for your left side here. Starting at the lower one if you're not sure. And I like the fist at the side, but you're also more than welcome to have your hands on the leg in front of you. Kind of whatever makes you feel most stable and comfortable. The fist kind of helps you engage the entire body, so that's why I like that on the side. So let's take an inhale in here. As you exhale, start to press the top of the foot into the block. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, one. Now lift that foot up, bringing the heel towards the glute. Try to draw the toes back towards the shin. I forgot to say on the other side. And hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place the top of the foot back on the block. And then start to press it in, or if you need to change your position, go ahead and do so. Looks like you guys are all good, so let's go ahead and start pressing into the block. Press, press, press. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now lift it up, lift it up, lift it up. Draw those toes towards the shin as you do so. And hold it for 5, 4, 3, keep everything engaged, 2, 1. Place the top of the foot back down on the block. Last time, we're going to press in with most all of your effort here, 90% effort. And hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, nice job, 1. And now last time with your lift up, lift, 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 lift. And really try to draw the toes in towards the shin. Ignore any cramping you might be feeling, unless it's so bad. You have to come out and hold it for 3, 2, 1, and release. Go ahead and remove the block. And we're going to come back to a seated position here. With our legs long and out wide. Well, if you need to do any little quick folds here to kind of loosen up those hamstrings, you're more than welcome to do that. That one gets me in the hammies for sure. So let's bring our legs out nice and wide here. Place the hands right in front of the seat. Draw the toes up towards the ceiling and then back, draw them back towards your shins. If you feel very unstable and uncomfortable with your hands in front of the seat, you're more than welcome to place them right next to your seat here as well. And we're going to do some tails and rails here. So we're going to start by pressing the heels into the mat. You have your hands next to your hips, make sure they're just kind of lightly there and you're not pressing them too much with the hand, mostly with the heels. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. And now try to lift the heels up off the mat. Really lift, 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 lift. They don't come up, that's fine. Just make the effort to. And try to rotate the toes so that they're facing towards the sky. Nice, Mike. And hold it for 3, 2, 1. Press the heels into the floor. Really press, press, press in. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lifting the heels up. Really lift, 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 lift. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. Bring the soles of the feet together here. Oh wow, class flew by today. So we'll just do this one real quick and then we'll go into our Shavasana. So let's pull the heels in kind of as far as you can towards the seat. Go ahead and wrap our hands just around our toes here. We're not going to do any tails and rails on this one since we already did some inner hip work. We'll just take an inhale to lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, go ahead and hinge and fold over, giving yourself a nice deep stretch into this position here. All that active work, we'll get to end class with a little bit of passive work. Let your head hang nice and heavy. And just find a few deep, steady breath rounds here. We'll go ahead and come back up and then make your way all the way to your back. Bend both knees in. And then lift the feet off the ground so that the soles of the feet are facing towards the bottom of the mat. And your knees are at a 90-degree angle with your knees over your hips. We'll take an inhale in. As you exhale, let the knees go off to the left. A quick little twist here. Bring them all the way down, or you can hover them. Just try to keep the right shoulder as plugged into the mat as you can. Arms can be kind of cactus shaped or a T shape next to you, whatever you have room for. And on the next inhale, let's bring the knees back up and let them off to the right this time. So twist on this side. And we'll come back up to the center. Let the legs go long in front of you and make your way to your final resting pose of Shavasana. Let your eyes soften, maybe shut. Arms are by your side. Just let go of any tension in your forehead, the jaw, space around the eyes. Maybe tucking your shoulder blades down your back a little bit. And just rest. And start to bring some awareness back to your breath. Small movements back to the body. And when you're ready, just bend one knee in at a time and roll off onto your favorite side. Pressing your way up to a comfortable seat. Once you've arrived here, just take a moment to notice how you feel. Some changes to the body, to the breath. And take a moment of appreciation for your time spent on the mat. Hands to the side. Thank you all for showing up, sharing your practice, sharing your morning and your light. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. Namaste. Thanks, guys. That class flew by. I had like 4 more things planned.
Hey, I was